Hello. Hello, hello, hello. Hello to everybody. How is everyone? Today we're going to have a little quick, easy day. It's going to be a lot of color changing because we're going to do the Christmas lights, which is a really simple little stitch. But it's important. So we'll do that, and it'll have a secret hidden stitch, I guess. I say secret hidden stitch because I didn't list it in the pattern, but it's super simple, and you don't actually have to do it as well if you don't want to. It is purely optional if you choose. I'm just getting my computer ready. What? No longer available to open. Oh, I know why. I changed the file name. Oh, that's not where I want to go. There we go. Put this over here. Put this over here. Do a little dance. Make a little love. Get down tonight. Get down tonight. Okay, so how is everyone? We'll get started in a sec. As I mentioned, we're going to do the little lights today. So we're going to do a lot of color changing. We're going to do a simple stitch. We're going to need that one, that one, that one, and that one. Oh, and potentially another one, which I've got over here. No, I don't. Do I? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. And that one. Alright, let's get started. Let's start with, to begin with, before we start, you can do these in whatever colors you want. I do recommend, though, that you try to use colors that are used elsewhere in the pattern. That way it ties in with the rest of the piece a little bit more. You can also do them in whatever order you want. I'm going to follow the pattern that I've done, so I'm going to start with red. And we want to get 4 strands of the red. So to do that, I'm going to pull out 2 strands and fold it in half. So we got 1, 2 strands. Just winding the rest back on my bobbin. Try and keep some order and cleanliness to my desk that looks like a bomb hit it. I'm then going to thread my needle and gather the 2 ends together. Grab my needle again, and now it's halfway down the floss, the doubled up floss, and then I'm going to do my quilters knot. Snip off the end. And let's get started. So this is going to be a lazy daisy stitch. And to make it look like what you see on my finished piece, we're going to be starting all of the stitches right up against the string that we did on the very first day of the stitch along. You'll understand in a sec. So we're going to come up, right up against the stem stitch. I'm just going to move my microphone so that I don't keep bumping it for Twitch. We're going to come up, and then behind my piece, I'm just moving the knot out of the way so I don't pierce that, because we're going to go back in where we came up. Hold your floss so that you don't pull all the way through. And then at the end, like the pointy bit of the light, I'm going to come up, go through my floss, and then just gently pull down away from the stitch. So if you pull up this way, you're going to undo your little loop that we've just created. And then on the outside of the loop, we're going to tack down our little stitch. From here, if you don't like how that kind of sits open, you can tighten and then just pull it back down again. And that's a lazy daisy stitch. How easy is that? The trickiest bit is making sure, if you care, like I do, that you do them in a pattern order. So because I'm doing 4 different colors, I want to count 4 little lights following the string. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to come up here. I'm carrying my thread a lot for this one. Did I keep the back open? I did, but you can't see it very well. So you can see I've carried my thread quite a lot, rather than cut and restart the thread every single time. You can do that if you want to. If you want to be extra, go for it. So again, I'm not going to pull all the way through. I'm going to come up at the tip of the light globe, pull through and pull away from the stitch. And then on the other side of the loop that we created, I'm going to go in where I came up just now and tack it down. And then it'll count again, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can look at the pattern if you want to, just explaining it, basically. Okay, so we go back in where we just came up. Don't pull all the way through. Come up where we want the top of the bulb to sit. Pull away from our stitch. And tack it down. And then the last one is 1, 2, 3, 4. Come up close to the stem stitch. I just pierced it instead of coming up next to it. Go back in. So one thing to make sure is you don't really want to like twist this bit. You can if you want to, that like would give it its own look and feel, but you'd want to be doing it for every single one. For me, I want to make sure that they're kind of open looking. And tuck it down. And that's the red. So today is going to be a very quick day because I've got a lot on. And as I've mentioned in previous days, I need to pick up my kids from school shortly after the stream because they have early dismissal on Fridays. I still haven't fixed that brown. This bit here. You can't see it on the Twitch/YouTube stream, but you can on Instagram. Alright, I'm going to do the same thing for the next color. What's the next color? Next color is blue. Alright, I'm just going to put my red floss back. So the blue I picked does not match the blue that I'm doing in these like clothing pieces. I considered doing that, but the blues that created the colorist floss didn't look vibrant enough for them to be like Christmas lights. So that's why I picked this blue. But again, it's your piece. If you want to do something different, go for it. All power to you. You go, girl, boy, or non-binary friend. So I'm going to get 2 strands again. Oops, just winding it on a bit funny. Just putting my other 4 strands back. Alright. So again, in case you missed it, I'm going to thread the 2 strands on my needle. I'm then going to gather the 2 ends of the floss so that it looks like I've got 4 strands. This one is being difficult. So I got my 4 little end bits, almost. There we go. Then pull the needle to the middle, and then that's basically 4 strands. Do my quilter's knot. Snip the end. Alright, let's go. The most amount of time spent for these little lights is changing over the floss, I feel. So again, because this is the first stitch, I need to move my knot out of the way so that I don't try and go through that, because it would just, you wouldn't have a very good time, basically. Your needle would be like, no, excuse me, I don't want to do that. That one, and then we're going to come over here next to the red one. Again, I want to make sure that it's not twisted like this or something. I want to keep it flat. Again, if you want to twist it, you'll want to do it for every single light so they all look uniform. It's definitely a thing you can do if you want to. Then we come up to this one. Oh, and don't measure the distance between all the lights, because it's not accurate. If you've got any questions, let me know. If I'm going too fast, let me know. Lazy Daisy is a really good stitch to know if you're planning on doing floral embroidery. It's also known as a detached chain stitch, if you're curious. I just think Lazy Daisy is a much cuter name, so I like to call it that. And that's our blue. Now I've got lots of bits of blue to wind back on. Again, if you've got any questions, let me know. But I feel like this is one that is really kind of hard to mess up. And then once we do our 4 colors, I'll show you our little secret that we're going to do. Alright, next color is green. I've got 2 strands here already. It's not a lot, but we'll see if we can make it work. I don't need a lot. I'm just threading my needle off screen. Alright, let's do it. So we're going to come up, go back in the same spot, again moving our knot out of the way so we don't pierce that. Oh, this is going to be pushing it. This is not a lot of green. Might end up having to get more floss just for one little lazy daisy. Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh well. It was worth a try. Oh no, I'm not even going to be able to finish this one. Alright, I gotta undo that. That's what I get for trying to be frugal. Okay, so to undo, I need to pull my fabric out of the way. Ow! I was about to say not poke myself, but I did. There we go. Alright, flip it over. We've caught a little tiny strand of the fabric. There we go. That was a risky snip, by the way. I don't recommend you do that. Let's tie up all these lines in the middle here. Alright, let's get some more green. What do we got? 4 strands, perfect. Alright, this one's just 4. I'm going to just thread it, all 4 of them. I must have not used this colour since I did the test stitch, because it was exactly what I've just done. Like, it was a tiny little bit of 2 and then there was 4 left over. Alright, let's try that again. So I'm going to come up, move my knot out of the way, go back in, come up at the top, through the loop, and back in. Just tack it down. So just repeating myself, because people are dropping in and out, which is perfectly fine. This is the lazy daisy stitch. It's also known as the detached chain stitch. Don't try and say that fast, so it's kind of a tongue twister in of itself. If you want to, you can stylize it a little bit by twisting the loop, but I'm not doing that. If you do that, you'll want to do it on every single one of the lights, and that will give it like a little bit of a different look and feel to what I've created. And the last color is yellow. Whoops, I almost dropped it. I almost dropped it again. And I encourage everyone to try things if they want to. Can you just, there we go. Yeah, if you want to do something different, go for it. I'm just getting the yellow out, and then once we're done the yellow, we'll do the little secret stitch. Secret stitch. It's not that exciting, by the way. I just feel like it finishes the little lights a lot better. And I'm just gonna thread my needle off camera because it's so much quicker. Now I'm going to do a knot. Snip the tail. Oh, I made a long tail on that one. Alrighty. Can it come up in the middle? Did I really do too yellow in the middle? Oh, I did. Where's my knot? There it is. Again, moving the knot out of the way so I don't poke it with the needle, because that would not be a good time. And then go in. So one thing I started to explain at the very start is you want to be coming up in the same spot, whether you're starting the stitch either away from the string or up against the string. I suggest up against the string for this piece in particular because it makes the bulb look kind of rounded. But it does give it a little bit of a different look if you were to start away from the string. So I like to do that when I do petals on flowers. So just something to keep in mind. Because this little bit that tacks it down. What have I done? What have I done? Hang on. What have I done? I went through the red, but like, why is that a problem? It's pulled it through. That's annoying. Could we not, please? Ow, I just poked myself again with the needle. Alright, that's odd. That one can just be a little bit opened. And the last one. And then we'll get our grey. Perfect. Man, I don't know about you guys, but I love Christmas lights. That's like one of my favorite parts about December. I like to drive around with my kids now that I'm the parent, and we go looking at Christmas lights in the neighborhood. Because what's the point of them if you don't enjoy them, huh? People spend a lot of money and put a lot of time and effort into decorating their houses. I'm going to go and enjoy it. This year, the first time me and my kids went out to look at lights, I set them up with big fuzzy blankets and a bowl of popcorn each and all of that kind of stuff, and they were like, "This is the best thing ever!" It was very cute. Ah, yay! Other people like Christmas lights. Okay, so for the little secret stitch that we're going to do, you can do as many strands as you like. Yes, Christmas lights are the best. I like the natural, like, bright blue white when people do that. But I do like the gold white that is also available if someone does that all over their house. But anyway, I digress. So what we're going to do next is I'm using 3 strands. I do recommend that. You can do maybe like 2 or 4 if you want to make it thinner or chunkier. But we don't need a lot of floss. So I don't have a lot here. But I'm getting 3. I'm going to do a quilter's knot. It's just like, how does everyone not know what that is? It's the best thing ever. So much easier than trying to like delicately curl a knot. Anyway, what we're going to do is like little attachments to the bases of the Christmas lights. And if I show you this one. This light here in particular, you can really see it. And this is actually a really good way to kind of close up your lazy daisies if you want to. But I feel like this is fine. Like this is totally acceptable if you want to leave it at this. But this, I don't know, this just kind of finishes it a little bit nicer. So I didn't put it in the pattern because, as I said, it's not necessary, but I wanted to demonstrate it today so that you could decide whether or not you want to do that. So we're going to come up on one side. This is basically just a little seed stitch. We're going to come up on one side and then go in on the other side, and that's it. And I'm going to follow the line, try and go the shortest distance possible because I don't have a lot of floss. So again, you could even do 6 strands for this if you really wanted to, like if you wanted to make it really obvious. But you want to be kind of keeping it butted up against the lazy daisy. So if you do it too far away, then it's going to look a little bit strange. Oh, that was a good one. And see this one, it should really help with this one because this one's kind of far apart. And then to help squeeze it in, I'm going to actually like drag the floss over and kind of go underneath it. See, that one looks so much nicer now. You don't want to pull too tight when you pull it through, because you do kind of, if you are doing this, you do kind of want it to be seen if someone was to like look at this really close up and critique it or something. But yeah, most Christmas lights that I've seen aren't a string and then it suddenly sprouts a light bulb, if you know what I mean. That's happening. Did I seriously run out of floss? No, I just had the tail too short. I had the perfect amount of thread. I love it when that happens. Alright, and the other thing you could do, which I'm not going to do, but it was something that I considered when I was designing and stitching this, is you could do little like outlet points, or like one on an end. I didn't really know how to design that in a stitch that was already being used, that wasn't kind of like, hey, we're going to do some satin stitch and good luck. Like, if that makes sense. It just seemed a little bit too complex and relied too much on luck, I guess. So anyway, if you want to do that, go for it. That was an idea that I had, as I said. But otherwise, that's it for today. We did the lazy daisy and we did tiny little seed stitches. I'm not going to list it as like this video as us doing a seed stitch, but you know, if you've watched this, then you know what the little secret hidden stitch is. So thanks so much everyone for watching. I'll be taking Monday off because in America it's a public holiday and I'll have like my kids and everything with me, so I would rather skip the day and be able to do it when my kids aren't helping But anyway, thanks so much, and I will see you all on Tuesday. Bye bye.